Are you ready to have a little reading?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay. Okay, so how I work with a person to do a reading in person is a little bit different than over the internet. So when I set up an appointment with someone to have a reading, I get their name, and I like to have it at least 24 hours in advance so that I can meditate on them and pray for them and try to tune in to their guides so that I can be as clear as possible for when I actually sit down face to face with that person. So I am kind of meditating on them and thinking about them. The next thing that I do is always sit across from the person. So this will be a little bit different because you're to my left. And I light a candle, and a candle is important. And I light a candle whenever I do any kind of spiritual work because the candle is an indication of light, of goodness, of the highest truth, of Christ consciousness. The opposite would be to not have a candle, which does not declare that this is a place where only spirits that can be trusted can come through. So by putting the candle in between us, it's like saying only those that are of the light can come into this space. And so I light the candle, and then I need a little time to get into my space, and I will show you how I do that now. So I just kind of take a little while to breathe and get in my zone. As I'm doing that, I call for assistance. And so I ask for my spirit guides and helpers to place a circle around the circle that we have here sitting across from each other. I ask my guides and all of those that work with me that are of the light to assist. So I welcome my team. I welcome the animal helpers that I have and my own angels. And I also include any of the energies that are of the light and positive that work with Mike to join us in this circle here. By placing a circle of energetic light beings around us, it gives us a level of protection. We haven't talked about protection, but there are certain protections that we need to learn, or else we are inviting darkness, inaccuracy. It's the opposite of the light. And so I call upon all those folks to put a circle around our circle, and I ask, please, for me to be as clear as possible so that Mike gets the answers that he needs. And then I usually turn it over to the person getting the reading to see if they have any questions. If not, then I just go ahead and give them what I got. But do you have any questions?
Yeah, I think right now I'm going through a kind of a work transition. And I've gone through many of them before. I've gone from tech to teaching to writing to content. And I just got a new offer that's going to be very, very challenging, but could potentially be a beneficial partnership. So I kind of wanted to see if that's the right direction I should be going, if I should still be continuing my other projects, if I should do them all at once, or whether that's the right move for me.
Okay. So we talked about this a little bit the other day, and I was very excited because I knew that you were going to be offered something, but I don't understand what it is that you're offered because I don't understand what you do, but it's something fabulous. And so pay attention to that job for now, but don't neglect the other things. You still have all of these other, coals in the fire that you want to keep working on and developing because, like we've talked a little bit about before, you're coming into your power. You're starting to realize that you have an unconventional job or an unconventional way of making money because we're in such changing times that how a lot of us help other people and how a lot of us make money is changing. And so I call you, when you're not around, I call you Mike the Tech God, because you have a lot to offer. You have a patience and a maturity, I think, that's far beyond your age. You're starting to experience symptoms of synchronicity, and that's going to continue the more you pay attention to that. So like when you say, oh, I played a chord or something, I don't remember what you said earlier, and it reminded me of the person you were talking to yesterday. It's by no accident that synchronicity in play. And so if you're feeling in your gut, if you feel like in your physical being that, yes, this is a good move for me, if it's not raising any red flags or giving you like tummy trouble, a lot of times when an answer is no for us, our digestive system, our tummy is affected. So if you're not feeling any of that, that is a sign to go ahead and proceed forward. And the more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities will come your way. And I guess maybe the biggest thing about doing psychic work and teaching other people how to be intuitive is learning that yes-no vibration. There's actually a way that our body responds when something is yes and true, and when something is not. So you know that feeling where, I don't know, just coming up with something, you're going to go on a date with somebody, but there's something that just doesn't feel right. That's your energetic system trying to tell you, watch out, this might not be the one. And so learning how our body is physically reacting lets us know when something's good and true and to proceed forward or not.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I have gotten that feeling before. I never really equated it to that. I just feel like I have really bad anxiety. But I do get that feeling before certain things where sometimes more than others, I'll get that kind of butterflies in the stomach feeling. And sometimes it does push me to not want to do it anymore. And other times I'll feel like it's a very positive thing and I do want to. So it's kind of interesting how that works.
So you're kind of alluding to the yes-no vibration. So this would be a perfect time to try pendulums on you, Mike.
Oh, nice. I'm not sure how that works, so I'm
Okay.
excited.
Of course, when I went to look for my pendulums yesterday, I couldn't find them. And I've got like 20 of them already for students and everything. And so I said, okay, Spirit, where did I put those pendulums? Because I'm always reorganizing. Where did I put those pendulums? And I went off to do other things. I was putting some stuff away in my closet and came upon a box. And this was the other day on the 1-year anniversary of my dad passing. I was looking for the pendulums, and I found this little box that my dad's wife had given me with a little note on it, and inside were 2 little necklaces that belonged to my dad, but I guess he never wore them. And I saw them, and the one just said to me, pendulum, Mike is supposed to have this. Mm. And so this is going to be the one for you to use. And I'm going to show you how to do it with this. But what I usually use is a plain old key on a piece of yarn, but I couldn't find my pendulums. And so what I have here today is just a simple piece of silver, little acorn thing, on a chain. It doesn't have to be on a metal chain. It can be on yarn. Now, the purpose of a pendulum is just to show that you have energy and things react to your energy. And so I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but how I teach people to do it is, so you're going to, I don't know what this is here, rest your elbow on your knee so that you're not causing this to move at all. I think I can show it a little higher because I'm a little bit more used to doing it. So I am holding it still so that it doesn't move. And the first thing that we're going to find, Mike, is your yes vibration. What this does when you are emoting the feeling of yes. So you're doing it perfect the way you're resting your elbow on your knee, and then you're going to put your hand under it a few inches, and you're going to say, maybe go a little lower with your hand, like this, and you're going to do this. I'll model it for you first. I'm thinking yes. In my brain, I'm thinking yes, yes, yes. Now I'm switching my thought to big yes. So I'm thinking of, like music I like or the concert that's coming up. Yes. Now this is showing me that my yes vibration goes in a counterclockwise circle. And depending on how much yes I'm putting out there, that determines the amplitude. And so, you want to try that?
Sure.
Okay. So you just put your hand under it, and you start saying yes out loud.
Yes. That's right. Yes.
Now, think of things that you really like technology, or when you go to a concert, and switch your thinking to big yes.
Big yes.
So you're thinking of things that are very positive and loving for you, and you say it more. Say it out loud several times, because that helps get that intention out clearer. Eventually, you won't need to say anything at all, but...
Yes.
Okay.
Music, games.
So from the direction that I'm sitting, it looks like it was... Is that clockwise?
Yeah, clockwise.
Clockwise in a little circle.
It kind of stops, and then a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's because you're not holding your thought of yes. So your yes for you is going to be that motion where it's moving in that direction and circular. But when it's a strong yes, the amplitude is larger. You'll get a bigger circle. And that's something that you can practice at home.
Okay, so whenever I have a question that I need answered, I could just kind of do this and see which direction it turns.
When we first get our pendulum, that's what we do, is we kind of play with it. So I remember taking mine to, there was this furniture store, and there was a picture, and I thought about buying it, but I didn't want to spend the money, so I took out my pendulum, and I was doing it, and the sales guy saw me, and I thought a little weird. I felt stupid, and I didn't buy the thing. But this is all it's doing is it's reacting to the energy that you're putting off. And we're using our hand because we have energy centers here on our hand, and it's just the most logical place when we're practicing pendulum. So now we're going to try with your no vibration. And so you're going to rest your elbow on your knee like you did. I'll hold mine a little higher. And you just start putting forth the intention of no, no,
No.
no. And you will note a different direction. So keep doing it. Keep saying no, and really mean it.
No. No.
Okay, so yours is going back and forth, which is common. A lot of people's goes back and forth when the intention is no. Now you're going to switch it to big no, like something you really don't like really annoying people or cilantro or something. No. And it will
no.
just kind of go back and forth with greater degree, with the wider. No, 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 no.
No. No. No.
So what we see with yours is it's counterclockwise circle, right? Was it counterclockwise?
It's
Clockwise.
It's weird. When I think of yes, it goes clockwise, and as soon as I even think of anything, whether it's a no or anything else, it just starts swinging.
That's because you're changing your thought. Mm-hmm. And every thought has a different energy. Our energy changes from moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day. And so when you're thinking of something fabulous, like what's coming up? Luxury travel, bring me luxury travel. And so it's going to be bigger. Now, when I start thinking of something else, like, oh, I got to do the laundry later, or it's changing because my energy is elsewhere. I'm putting out a different kind of energy. Okay. And so a pendulum is just a simple little tool to help you hone in to when something is yes and when something is no. And remember a little while ago I talked about how your body physically responds when something is yes or when something is no. And so if you were taking a class from me, we would practice this a little bit more, and we would practice little questions. For example, where's something good to play with? Usually I have rocks, so let me grab a rock. We practice with rocks because rocks have energy. And so I'm just going to set this here and ask a question. This is what I would do for you if we were really having class. I would say, and it's responding before I even ask the question because I'm thinking it. So is this a good rock for me? And so the answer is yes. You want to try it with them? This one.
I put this in my hand.
So you're going to put it under your hand once you get your pendulum stable, and then you ask, is this a good rock for me? And repeat it a few times, and it's going to give you a yes or a no, but maybe move your hand with the rock down a little bit more. There you go. And you just ask, is this a good rock for me?
Is this a good rock for me? Is this a good rock for me? Is this a good rock for me?
So what do you think that is implying?
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not. Try it with this one. Now, this is a fun one because as you move it, the energy will change. The energy is going to be a certain way here and a certain way on the side.
Is there a thing about placement? Because when I put it in my hand, I got a weird feeling that this was the wrong way. I felt like I had to turn it around or something.
You're feeling the energy of it, and quartz clip.
I was like, there's no orientation to a rock. Why do I feel like it's wrong?
See, look at you just learning already. That's because rocks have energy. That's why a lot of people use rocks and crystals and healing and psychic work and stuff. Now, it's just a tool. Mm-hmm. We can get the same kind of information with nothing at all, but it's a good tool to start off with. And that's a good rock to practice with.
Is this a good rock for me? Is this a good rock for me?
So how do you interpret that? Do you think that's a yes or a no?
I feel like it's weird because it starts doing a yes, mm-hmm. and then it kind of goes straight again, and that was my unsure feeling before. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest try turning it around and moving around because you know how it has all the different facets?
Yeah.
They each have energy. Also, I've dropped that a couple of times in the last year, and it's broken and chipped. So hold it with the pointy part up and say, is this a good rock for me? And see how your pendulum responds.
Is this a good rock for me? It's going the other way. Is this a good rock for me? It is moving a lot. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I'm trying to hold it still, actually.
Mm-hmm. And the more you move it around, especially when there's a point on it, mm-hmm. It'll react even more.
Every time before I ask the question, when I bring it up, it starts to turn as a right. And then when I start asking, I think I overthink it and it straightens out.
It could be because it's responding to your energy and your thoughts. And so it's just a fun little tool to help us see that we are emitting energy and that our thoughts have energy. And it's fun at the beginning to use it for fun things like, should I buy this picture? Or really it's for something more important. And then as I'm teaching pendulums, I'm teaching when it's doing a yes or a no, what's your gut doing? What do you notice about your heartbeat? What do you notice about how calm?
Just about to mention that too. Yeah. I feel like it links up with the little circles it does, links up with my heartbeat. Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It
They're
stays
fun.
Still, and every time I look at it, it starts moving, and it trips me out because I'm not moving.
That's because your energy is just creating that. It's reacting with the energy of the rock. Yeah. And quartz crystals are really important in doing this kind of work. They give clarity. I'm not a person that works with stones and using them to heal, but I do believe in that. I think it's really, really interesting and powerful.
I think that's something I'd want to learn to hone in on because I think since I'm new, it's kind of hard to decipher, the message that's coming through. But is a very real like movement that I'm noticing and stuff. So it'll be interesting to play with that.
And I'm really giving you a rush lesson too.
Yeah.